Okay, let's check our work. So for B, we're working with thirds. So you should draw a number line. Make sure you have 0 and 1 marked. And then because you want 3 sections, draw 2 lines. There we go. So now I would have 0 thirds here, 1 third, 2 thirds, and 3 thirds. So let's start at 0 thirds. Jump. Here would be 1 third. Done with this one. Let's do the next one. Jump. There we go. I did the second one. One last one. Jump. Done. So what do I have? What would 1 third plus 1 third plus 1 third be? 3 thirds. Is there another way I could write that? 3 thirds? Well, remember that's the same as 1. If I have 3 out of 3 parts, I have 1. Okay, bonus that I want you to do. How could I write this problem as a multiplication problem instead? Pause the video and I want you to solve. How would you write this as a multiplication problem? Well, I have 1, 2, 3 of the 1 thirds. 3 times 1 third. 3 1 thirds. And of course, what's your answer? It's going to be the same, either 3 thirds or 1. Either one is correct. Okay, here's kind of a bonus for you. Let's look at D. We're not going to write it on a number line, but I want to look at what it's telling us. They wrote it as a multiplication problem, but it has an addition in there. I want us to write just as an addition problem. So I'm going to ignore that plus 1/4 right now. So the first part is 2 times 3/4. What would that look like as an addition problem? Can you go the other way? So 3 times 1 third would be 1 third plus 1 third plus 1 third. What would 2 times 3/4 look like? That should be 3/4 plus 3/4. There we go. I have 3/4 2 times. And then that last part, plus 1/4, we're just going to hook on to the end. All right. Let's take a look at the second part. So on our previous questions and the one we just did, the 1B, we were only ever working with unit fractions. So where it has a 1 on the top. This time, we are working with non-unit fractions. So 3/8 plus 3/8 plus 1/8. So you don't need to write this down, but if you want to, if it helps you remember, that's great. So I'm drawing a number line. I have 0 and I have 1. You can pause the video if you need a moment to do that. Okay, and this is the tough part. I want 8 sections this time. 8 sections means I need to draw 7 lines. I'm going to try my best to do this and make it even. It takes a lot of practice, so it's okay if they're not quite even for you. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And look, this one's the biggest, but what can you do? It's hard to draw 8 equal-sized pieces. All right. We're working with eighths. I just put it into eighths so I know this would be 0/8. And the very, very end would be 8/8. Let me mark the middle just to make it easy. Well, actually, you know what? It's not. And here's why. If we have something that's not a unit fraction, we don't need to write every single number down here. We can do some of this in our head. So I'm going to start at 0. And let's do our 3/8. So how many sections do I need to jump forward? 3 out of 8 sections. So it would be 1, 2, 3. I'm going here. 1 section, 2 section, 3 sections. So this would be the 3/8 mark. Check. Let's jump ahead another 3/8. 1, 2, 3. There we go. 1, 2, 3 sections. How many eighths would this be? I was at 3/8. I jumped ahead another 3. What would I be at now? 6/8. Check. Let's do one more. Add 1/8. So that means I'm going ahead 1 section. Where am I now? 6/8 plus another section would be 7/8. So what would our answer be? 3/8 plus 3/8 plus 1/8? 7/8. Similar to what we did on 1D, there's 2 problems that are non-unit fractions and then 1 that is a unit fraction. How could we write this using multiplication? What do you see being repeated in this addition problem? More than 1. The 3/8, and there's 2 of them. How would that look as a multiplication problem? Why don't you pause and do your best? Okay, let's check. We said there were 2 3/8. So that would be 2 times 3/8. Saying there's 2 of them. Did you remember to add the 1/8 at the end? So we have 2 3/8 and just 1 1/8. All right, there we go. I'd like you to complete 1C. 1C on your problem set. And I would also like you, once you solve, I want you to write it using multiplication, just like this. Okay, so you are going to go on to the next slide and finish solving. Bye.